This is your first spring training. What have you learned about what it's like to be here in spring training and this whole process?
First of all, thank y'all for having me. It's great to be here. It's been awesome. I'd say the biggest thing that I've taken just from the little bit of time I've been here is learning a routine. It's not all about you. You got to figure out what works for you, and as an organization works for all the guys. For example, hitting. You're hitting with 3 or 4 other guys. You have 30 minutes, so you got to make it work. You can't just go take up all the time and do just what you want to do. And then also just finding out what works for you, kind of going back to that routine. Like I said, it's their facilities, their rules, and you got different stops along the way.
Yeah, and what did you learn from the process of playing here in the Florida State League last year? And what are you going to carry that into your first full season?
Like I said, just being around, it's just a different environment. I played travel ball, played high school baseball, but it's completely different. This high school baseball and travel ball is almost more of a hobby for some people. This is a job, and this is something that thankfully I love my job more than anyone else on the planet. But it's something where it's like you're in every day and you're working to win a spot, but also working to help the team win. So it's about, I think, just figuring out how to help the team win while making yourself a better ball player, and just figuring out how to do that. It's a lot of stuff that I'm just now beginning to learn.
Yeah, and the spring breakout games are coming up here in a few weeks. You're somebody we're hoping to see in that game, but that's about the future.
Yep.
You envision what your first game could look like with the Minnesota Twins, playing in Minnesota. What do you envision that?
I have no clue. I have no clue. I just hope I'm fortunate enough to get there one day and be on that team, and obviously that's the plan. But I couldn't even begin to tell you. That's something that's out of my pay grade a little bit, so we'll see.